You saw the video. What do you think?
I think there needs to be a full investigation of what happened in Minneapolis. The fact is, if you put 2,000 ICE agents into a city, it's bound to create tensions. ICE should be focused on violent offenders. That's who we should be sending out of the United States, who we should be detaining, not innocent people who are protesting what's going on. So I hope we're going to see a full investigation. And we're going to see a reduction in the tensions. You know, when ICE goes into a community and they aren't willing to work with local law enforcement, it just creates the potential for chaos, and that's what we saw on that video.
Turning back to Venezuela, today you said that the U.S. seizing that Russian-flagged oil tanker is a good move. Why do you think so? Do you have any concerns that this is going to escalate tensions with Russia in a negative way?
Well, I think we need to get a lot tougher with Russia, and I think the shadow fleet that has been funding Russia's war in Ukraine needs to be taken down, and I think that's important. Now, the downside of that is that if we're going to continue to control oil coming out of Venezuela, it's going to take a continuation of American ships off the coast. It's going to increase the potential for escalation there, and that puts at risk our service members. We have 15,000 people in that Caribbean area right now, more than we've had probably in my lifetime. And so we have to be very careful about the risk of escalation. And of course, what my constituents are also concerned about is the cost. You know, this is, they're facing challenges in terms of their own costs of living. We've got thousands of people in New Hampshire, millions across the country who are losing their health insurance because those premiums stopped at the end of December and prices have risen dramatically. And so they're wishing that we would be focused on issues that are facing the American people at home, not be focused on what's going on in Venezuela.
I'm not sure if you heard the interview before the commercial break, but I was talking to the Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, and I asked him when he thinks elections will actually happen. He said they will happen, but it takes time. We haven't heard any date, and a lot of people are concerned that the administration seems more focused on the oil than on human rights or democracy in Venezuela. What's your take?
Absolutely. I would like to hear the president talk about the importance of returning to democratic elections. What we have done in taking Maduro out is to replace him, an authoritarian dictator, with another authoritarian dictator who's part of his regime. So I think we should be more focused on how we can see an improvement, help the Venezuelans improve their lives going forward. You know, the other explanation that we've heard from the administration for the action in Venezuela had to do with an effort to stop the Chinese, the Iranians, and the Russians from having a foothold in Venezuela that extends through Latin America. And yet they're doing that, and then the president talks about going into Greenland. He alienates our allies, our closest allies, and so it undermines the effort because that just hands a gift to Russia, to Putin, and to Xi because it divides America from our closest allies.
All right, Senator Jeanne Shaheen from the great state of New Hampshire, thank you so much. Really appreciate you.